Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Julia. If you are new here, I make beauty and lifestyle videos 2 to 3 times a week, depending on how the wind blows. Today, I'm super excited. I am filming a skincare video, and this has been a long time coming. I made an appointment with a dermatologist months ago. It took like 5 months to actually get in for my appointment. So by the time I actually went, I had like this big list of questions. She said I could bring all of my skincare. So I did. I brought it all just for her to kind of look through, and we ended up like tossing some and keeping others, and I learned a lot. And I'm gonna go through my notes that I took with you guys in this video. Not everything, because some of it is just like very specific to my skin. Okay, so I'm going to be reading a lot. I have my notes that I took here, so I'm going to be looking down a lot. The first big tip, this is something I hadn't really ever heard before, and it is to surprise your skin. So basically what that means is mixing up your products because they can become ineffective after prolonged use. So I guess your skin just kind of gets used to the product that you're using, and then it slowly becomes less and less effective as your skin just gets used to it. So an example she gave me is I'm pretty loyal to my Ole Henriksen moisturizer as an evening moisturizer. Well, I use it morning and night, but it's like the only one I use at night. But I'm starting to notice that I'm not seeing the same results from it, and I've been using it for probably about 8 months. Like, I'm on my 3rd little jar of it. And she suggested that I switch it out for something else every 3 to 4 nights. So I have rosehip oil that I use only when my skin is really acting up. She suggested kind of doing like 2 days on my Ole Henriksen moisturizer. It's like a thicker cream moisturizer. And then on the 3rd or 4th day, just using rosehip oil as a nighttime moisturizer. You could use anything. I just already have both of those products. So those are the 2 that I switch between. And because you're kind of bouncing back and forth between the 2, you're kind of mixing it up for your skin. It doesn't know what to expect, and the products are apparently more effective that way. So the other example that I have for you, and I've been doing this for about a week and a half, and I've actually really noticed a difference, and that's just in the treatments that I use to treat my pores on my T-zone. So specifically the skin on mostly like my nose and just like the center of my cheeks. I deal with a lot of blackheads and a lot of clogged pores, and I use one specific treatment. It's the Paula's Choice 2% AHA, and it's like a serum lotion consistency, and I've been using that every single night for months. And the first few weeks I was blown away by the results I was seeing. I was just like, holy cow, I wish I had found this years sooner, because it's like amazing. It just totally smoothed out my skin. By morning, I put it on at night. By morning, I looked poreless, like a baby's butt, and it was beautiful and glorious, and I immediately went and purchased like 3 backup jars of it, because I was just like, I'm never gonna not love this. It's so amazing. But it slowly started to not do as much, and I couldn't figure out why, and I was really bummed. And this totally opened my eyes as to why. So now I switch it out with a more affordable drugstore product twice a week, and that is the, oh no, what's it called? I'll put a picture of it up on the screen. It comes in a tube. It's like the Fab Plus. I forget. Anyways, it's more of like a gel. It kind of has the same effect, but it's not as effective as my Paula's Choice Resist serum. But because I've been giving my skin breaks from the Paula's Choice product, I notice now that when I do use it, I'm starting to see those more noticeable results. So this tip, this tip has changed my life in like a week and a half. So highly recommend switching up your products every once in a while, surprising your skin. It truly works. The other one that really surprised me is that alcohol and soap in your skincare products are not necessarily bad. She said that soap-free cleansers are mostly fad, which I had no idea. She was just like, over in the UK, you know, they put soap in all of their facial cleansers. It's not even like a question. For some reason in North America, it just became like this marketing ploy. It's like a fad, and it really, neither of those things are super bad for your skin, and when they're used correctly they can be super beneficial for your skin. So that made me feel better because I have a toner. It's my Mario Badescu toner, and from everything I read online, I thought I was gonna have to toss it after my visit with the dermatologist because it has alcohol in it, and she was just like, no girl, like, it's not bad. If it's working for you, that's fine. You just have to balance out your skin after you use an alcohol toner or something harsh like that. Just make sure you're putting the moisture back in, just make sure you're balancing it out, but then you should be fine. And some skin types benefit greatly from toners and skincare products that have alcohol in them. Some don't. It depends on if it works for your skin or not. So I found that super, super interesting. And the same thing goes for soap. Like, soaping cleansers is not a bad thing. You just don't want it to be too stripping, and again, it's kind of, you have to play around. It's like specific to your skin, and you have to just kind of find what works for you. But yeah, soap and alcohol in skincare products like cleansers and toners are not actually this great evil that we are being led to believe they are. The third tip, this is actually the first tip she gave me. It was just a very straightforward one that we hear all the time, but it's just sunscreen all day, every day. And really, she was just like, just wear sunscreen. And then you don't need to invest as much money in the rest of your skincare routine for the rest of your life. So the next tip is to drink water. Now, I kind of rolled my eyes when she said this because through my teens, I had struggled with like super intense cystic acne. Like, I'm still dealing with scarring from those years, and I'm almost 30, so it really took a toll. And I remember having like friends and family members saying like, oh, just drink enough water and your acne will go away, which was really, really frustrating because I was basically drowning myself, convinced that if I just had another glass of water every day, I wouldn't get new pimples, and that was just so far from the truth. So it was kind of refreshing when I was talking to her. She said drinking water is super important for keeping your skin hydrated, but don't rely on that to get rid of your intense acne. For some people who have super mild acne, it could possibly be because their skin is just so dehydrated, and maybe drinking enough water every day will alleviate their acne. But for people who have like really deep cystic acne and like that reoccurring acne, hormonal acne, drinking water is not going to get rid of it on its own. It's really important to keep your skin hydrated because it helps it through the healing process. It helps the products that you use work better, but it's not going to heal it on its own just because you're keeping hydrated. What else did she say? We often hear people say, oh, have you tried drinking more water to get rid of acne? And I was just like, yes. That was like all of my teen years. Genetics and hormones won't be solved by 2 or more glasses of water every day. So just keep that in mind. Staying hydrated, super important, just to help with the healing process as you're trying to deal with your acne, but it's okay if that is not solving your acne. Don't be shocked or saddened by that. The next tip was don't over or under exfoliate. I realized during my visit with her that I have been over exfoliating a ton. She said twice a week with a physical exfoliator that contains a chemical element. So something like lactic acid is ideal. So she said that you do have to play around. What works for one person won't always work for another person. Exfoliators are probably one of the trickier skincare products to find what works for you, which I didn't realize. And I ended up tossing 3 of my exfoliators, 3 of my scrubs after my appointment with her because I learned that they were just truly awful. So some people, what else did she say? Some people just can't handle physical exfoliators, and that's okay. Maybe you can only handle chemical exfoliators. It's just it's just kind of individual. You have to play around and find what works for you. One thing I did ask her, I wanted to confirm, my cousin suggested just using straight up almond flour, like going to Bulk Barn, getting a little bit of almond flour and like mixing it in with your regular cleanser. That's what she does as a super mild and apparently very effective exfoliator. I asked the dermatologist and she was just like, yes, there's no reason you can't do that. And it helps to eliminate a lot of the iffy products in a lot of scrubs. So she said if that works, then go for it. I haven't tried it yet. It's on my grocery list to get almond flour for my skincare cupboard. So I will keep you guys updated on that one. I'm very interested to see. And I'm just going to mix it in with my normal cleanser twice a week. My next tip was something I kind of already knew, but she basically said that most micellar waters and makeup wipes are a waste of money. And I mean, wipes are already really wasteful anyways, and since they're not effective, I don't know, I just feel like they shouldn't make them anymore. But I do understand that they can be very convenient and they do make you feel like you're clean and like you're cleaning your skin. So I understand the appeal. I used to be a huge makeup wipes fan, but she said if you're using a micellar water or a facial wipe, you actually should always be following it up with another cleanser, like a soap and water cleanser, and then rinsing your face with lukewarm water. So only ever use a micellar water or a cleansing wipe as like a pre-cleanse or your first cleanse, and then always do a second double cleanse after that. So I found that really interesting. Something I kind of already knew, but something maybe not everybody would realize. And then the other thing she said was always double cleanse in the evening. Even if you don't wear makeup, you don't think that your skin has gotten really dirty, just like all the pollutants and everything in the air even in your home, it's taking a toll and it will slowly show up on your skin throughout the years. So always do a double cleanse. Okay, the weather has just like turned crazy and it's actually thunderstorming outside, so the lighting is kind of getting a little darker. So I'm gonna try and speed through the rest of this video. I only have 3-4 tips left. So this one I wish I had known sooner. I've been playing around with retinoids for the last few years, but she really helped me find one that was good specifically for my skin. Again, that will be specific to you. You might have to play around or go to a dermatologist yourself and get a recommendation. But she basically said that retinoids are super important, especially if you care. You might not care, but if you're like me and you care about the wrinkles that are slowly but surely showing up on your face, and you want to do something to kind of try and hold them off, keep them at bay, retinoids are important. So she said there's a lot of different varieties depending on the sensitivity of your skin. So again, you'll have to find what works specifically for you. But she said starting in your late 20s and even earlier, probably everyone should use a retinol. That's what she would suggest to anyone coming into her office. Retinoids help prevent wrinkles, but they also help to unclog your pores, and retinoids also help with hyperpigmentation. So overall, they're just good stuff, but it can be tricky to find one that works for you, and sometimes they can cause your skin to purge. Something she told me, because the one that I'd been using previously was really causing a lot of purging, so I was only using it once a week, and I only used it on a night when I knew the next day I wasn't really going to be out and about or having to look good, because it without fail always caused purging. So she said that that's actually not a good thing. It's normal to expect a little bit of purging, but if it continues every time you use it, it's just too strong for your skin at that point. So I switched to a new one and it's working beautifully. And I will share that in another video when I actually go through all my products. That was a big tip, because from what I had learned online, purging was just a given with retinoids. You can't really, from what I understood, you couldn't really escape that. So I thought it was normal. And if it's prolonged purging, then it's not normal and you should switch your retinoid. Hot tip. Okay, the next two tips kind of go hand in hand. The first one is to always pat your products in, never drag them. This goes for everything. It goes for toner, it goes for serums, it goes for moisturizers, it goes for oils. And I've been really bad at this. I always like drag my moisturizer, like I really rub it in. And she said always pat. Even if you have a thick lotion cream moisturizer, put it in the palm of your hand, kind of do this and then pat it in. Or if you're really worried about wasting product, dot it on your face and then just like take whatever is left, rub it into your fingertips and then pat. Just like pat. And it's okay if it takes a little bit of time. In the long run, you're being more delicate with your skin. It's just better for your skin. So I only pat in products now, even on my neck, because she really scared me into just paying more attention to my neck, because I had pretty much ignored that area before. And yeah. Apparently that's what's going to give away my age, not my face. So I have started to take very good care of my neck in the past week and a half. So hopefully that'll pay off in another 20 years. And then the second part of this is to let each skincare step dry down completely before moving on to the next. Especially if you're doing like targeted treatments for certain areas of your face, let those products dry down completely before going on to your next step. It's getting very hard to film between the thunder and the lightning. Anyways, I'm just gonna roll with it. You might see some flashes of lightning. I'm sorry. I'm on the last tip, so that's okay. We'll just wrap it up. But her last tip was layering products or applying products in order according to their thickness, like their formula. So thin products to thick products. So if you have like a toner, a serum, and a moisturizer, that's the order you would put them in. You don't ever put like your moisturizer on before your serum, if that makes sense. Anyways, guys, that is it. That is all for this video. I hope you found it interesting and helpful. I know I found this super helpful, and it's kind of transformed my skincare routine overall. I've only been implementing these changes for like a week and a half since I had my appointment with her, but I'm really excited to see how this changes and improves my skin over time. I hope you enjoy the rest of this beautiful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.
Every change